Hi, it's Hank. Today I'll be mounting a computer monitor to the wall. You can use the same principle whether you need to mount a small television or monitor. Basically, I'm going to use a small swivel bracket that I bought on Amazon. I'm going to be using these drywall toggles. If possible, I'll use lag bolts and go right into the studs, but more than likely the studs won't be where I want to go. We'll find that out when we get in there. This is just a 27-inch monitor. It's pretty light, so shouldn't be that big of a deal. But in case you ever wondered, how do you mount something to your drywall? You don't want it to fall down? We'll show you how. Okay, now where we're going to mount the monitor. So in a perfect world, your wall studs would be 16 inches on center, meaning you go from, there should be a wall stud or a 2x4 behind this drywall. Here in the corner, then you come out 16 inches, and right here should be another, and there at 32 inches would be another. So ideally, you would find a wall stud right here. It's not always the case, but most of the time it would be. Now, if you don't have a stud finder, an easy way to tell where the studs are is just by the knocking method. So I anticipate there's a wall stud here. So if I knock here, get a hollow thud, hollow, that sharper tone right here, hollow, sharp. So the wall stud is somewhere in here. Now you can't necessarily nail it down exactly with the knocking method, but you can get an idea. Then you can use other methods to try to find the exact location of the wall stud. Sometimes if you have imperfect drywall, you might see a screw. I don't, in this case, I don't see any evidence where there's a nail or a screw holding the drywall on, but that's one way. Another way, once you get close, I think it's there. I measure, the measurement says it should be right there. I could get a little finish nail or something and drive it in somewhere inconspicuous, maybe where the monitor is going to be, behind the monitor where you wouldn't see it, and drive a nail in and see if I can hit wood or if it goes straight through to the hollow backside of the drywall. But what I need to know is the studs are about here. That's probably not where I want it. We'll see here. So if the stud's about there, I want the monitor mounted here. So that might work out. I might try to find the exact location of the stud so I can mount the monitor to the stud. That would be a better mount than using the hollow wall anchors. Another method of locating studs is look for your wall outlets and wall switches. They will always be mounted to one side or the other of a wall stud. So in this case, I do have a wall outlet down here. Wall outlet's about here, down there. So the stud's probably on that side of the wall outlet. So if I go 16 inches, stud's probably right there. So I'm going to put an exploratory screw or nail in the wall here and see if I hit the stud. So after getting the bracket out of the box and looking, I think it's best that we try to mount into the corner here and try to hit this stud with some lag bolts or lag screws. And so we'll mount it this way. Then we'll have the flexibility to move the monitor all about this area. So first thing I want to do is make sure I can hit a stud here. This is a very handy trick. You don't want to drill holes in your drywall and have dust on the ground that you have to clean up later, or dust all over your furniture. So learned this years ago. You get an envelope and you put some creases in it so that it kind of sticks out like a pouch. Maybe another crease there. And you tape it to the wall below where you're going to drill, and all of your dust will fall into the envelope. So painter's tape would be best, but I had some electrical tape handy, so we'll just use that. Really doesn't matter as long as it's not some tape that's going to peel the paint off the wall. You don't want to use duct tape or packing tape or something really strong. So basically, you're just sealing the top edge of the envelope tight against the wall. Pull out the envelope to make a little pocket. Now when we drill, all of our dust will fall right into the envelope. Okay. I have a small drill bit. I'm just going to make sure that I can hit the stud from here. Let's actually get the height correct and do this. We want the monitor about so high. It's not real critical, but we're going to go about here. I'm going to see if we hit the stud. If we do, that'd be great. Yeah, went right into the stud there. I'm going to go ahead and mark my other hole. Ooh. That one missed the stud. Missed the stud there. Hit the stud there. So I'm right on the edge of the stud. So that's concerning, because you don't want to screw right into the edge of the stud, because it'll just split out. Won't make a good secure mount. So we're not going to use the studs. We're just going to come over 1/2 inch, and we'll use the toggle anchors. We'll get a better mount that way. So these anchors are really convenient. It just takes a hammer. I'll show you. They have a point on them. You just drive them into the wall with a hammer till you get to the threaded part. Then you screw them a couple turns, and then you can put the screw that comes with them in there, and that causes the toggle to come out behind the drywall. And as you tighten it, it snugs up behind the drywall and pulls you in tight. So these are very nice little anchors. I like them a lot. So that's what we'll use. So I know my height here is fine. I know the edge of my stud is here, so I'm just going to move over just a bit so I miss the stud. I'm going to grab a hammer. So there was the stud. Just to be consistent, we'll put a measurement on it so we can do them both the same. We'll just come out 2 inches, right at the 2 inch mark. You just tap these into the drywall. Firmly like that. You get a screwdriver. Okay, I've got it tapped in. I've got a screwdriver. You could use a manual screwdriver. If you use a power tool, be very careful. You don't want to overdo it, strip it out. You just want it to turn just right there till it's flush. Maybe give it a little bit more of a, there we go. So that's nice and flush with the wall. Now I will get the other one. Move this down. There was my other hole there, so I'll come out 2 inches. Actually, I'm going to verify my height. Just going to put the mark in the center there. Now I'll come out 2 inches. Yep, right where the old X is. Get another toggle. Put it right there on my 2 inch mark. Very easy to just tap, tap, tap. screwdriver, push and rotate. It's good. I'm done with the envelope. We did catch a little bit of drywall dust, so that's something we don't have to clean up. This comes in very handy. If you're hanging pictures or whatever you're doing, I use this trick all the time. So now I'm going to grab some mounting bolts that came with the... Actually, I have the mounting bolts on my toggle. I'm looking for a couple of washers I might be able to use. There's usually an abundance of hardware in these little kits that come with the mounting brackets. So I just need a couple of washers. Perfect. And I'll stick this right in there and start that screw. Now what's happening now is it's pulling that toggle in up to the back side of the drywall, so it'll spin for a little while. There. It's just starting to touch. I'm not going to tighten it totally yet till I get both screws started. Put a washer on the other one. The reason for the washers is so you don't, the holes in the bracket might be a little bit bigger than the heads on these toggle screws. Good and snug. All right. Now that is secure. Now this hangs. There's 3 holes there, 3 pins here. Be sure you check before you. All this hardware is different. So there is an upside down and a right side up on most of them. So this just hangs right here. So we can take it off, then we can mount this to the monitor with the hardware provided. Then we'll just hang it on there. So I need some little short screws, maybe some little washers. You always want to be careful not to use screws that are too long, because you can damage your monitor or your TV by screwing run the screws into something that goes, something that's behind the bracket nuts here. Be very, very careful. Do not, I don't recommend using power tools for this, because it's really easy to strip these out or pull the nuts out through the plastic. So I have to be very careful not to over tighten that. Got 2 more screws here, about the right length. If I can find 2 more washers. By the way, a washer is basically just a round disc looking thing. Screw goes in it. It makes the used for 2 reasons. One for sort of a lubrication, so you're not turning the screw against the thing. Like for instance your bracket, so you're not scratching or digging into the bracket with the head of the screw. Another thing, it makes the head of the screw essentially larger, so you don't pull through any holes that are in your bracket. So put the other 2 machine screws in. These are Machine screws, by the way, just for terminology's sake, it's threaded. You know, it's like a 32 threads per inch pitch, something like that. Machine screw, where a wood screw or lag screw is made to screw into wood. This is made to screw into a threaded nut. Okay, we got the other two screws in place. Run them down very gently. I'm basically gonna use my drill as a hand screwdriver and not pulling the trigger. I'm just kind of, definitely don't want to over tighten anything here. I've done that before. Okay. Now the bracket is mounted to the TV. These holes here just hook up over the bracket there. Get this out of the way. And there are two threaded holes here. That's how we secure it. Once we hang it, we'll have to get behind there and drive two more machine screws into here so that it doesn't fall off on you. Okay, it's essentially hung. We've got all sorts of options, but now I do want to put the final two screws in here in the back. Find two more machine screws. Yes, right here. I believe these are made for it. Screwdriver. I do recommend using hand tools unless you're really experienced with your power screwdriver. Okay, I couldn't get to that one very well from that. It was kind of in its own way. So now swing it around this way to get the second screw in. Oh yeah. Piece of cake. I'm not too worried about these screws stripping out. I will still be very gentle, but I'll give them a little bit of a tighten. Come around, give this one a little bit of a tighten up. Okay. There you have it. This monitor is not coming off the wall. This bracket does have a swivel. There's a little wrench here, I think. Maybe not. I see there's a nut there I can loosen to make it swivel easier. It'll rotate and swivel a little bit. But anyway, yeah, we've got this option. We can rotate it. We can come over here, there, bring it out close. We're working on something intense. So there you go. That's really all there is to it, folks. You can do this yourself. Hi, this is Hank. Thanks again for watching my videos on things you need to know now that you're a homeowner, or a vehicle owner, or if you just want to save money. I look forward to putting out many more videos. Please like and subscribe.